Gary Vaynerchuk made a prediction. The future of podcasts will no longer be you and I sitting here interviewing each other. It'll be IP. That's AI.
I agree with part of what he says. I do think there are going to be non-discernible AI clones this year where the average human will not be able to tell the difference. But there is a certain icky feel. If you go to 1920s Hollywood, they would take a pretty girl and they would invent a celebrity out of her. So much so that they would give them a new name. So the fact that you would say, we'll take AI now and we'll manufacture the same way, it ain't that big of a reach.
So how is it going to work?
Hell, I don't. Hey there, welcome back to the Trainwreck Show, the messiest podcast in the world, with Perry Belcher, your host, the unstoppable force of marketing, sales, and all things AI, and Miss...
Or whatever else he comes up with today that he's the expert of.
Yeah, you know, that's right, 100%. Hey, you know, I'm great. If you don't believe me, just ask me. And Emma Rainville, the immovable object of operations, in fact, the wizard of operations. Some would say the witch. How you doing?
I think the only person never had the balls
and
to
your
call
little
me
dog too.
Which was your ex-business. Okay, so let's move on. I really want to talk about something that I heard on a podcast, oddly enough.
It's true. It really is that big.
Jamie Lima Kerma. I don't know. She wrote a book worthy. I really like her book. So I listen to her podcast every once in a while, and she had Gary Vaynerchuk on it.
Yeah, I know Gary.
I know, buddies of yours. But Gary Vaynerchuk made a prediction, and I'd love to hear your opinion on it. His prediction was the future of podcasts will no longer be you and I sitting here interviewing each other. It'll be IP. And so you'll have Susie that you made that's AI. And you and Susie will have a conversation. And I actually really love this conversation because, you know, on my podcast, Special Ops, I have Lester, which is my AI, on he's the most reoccurring guest, right?
Yeah.
So basically what he says, you'll have Samantha and you'll have Lisa. And your job, Perry, will be to take Samantha and Lisa and do book deals. And they'll become more famous than you. I'd love to hear what your response to that is, what your thoughts are.
I've heard Gary talk about that. I agree with part of what he says. I do think, and I don't know how this is going to wash out, right? Mm-hmm. I do think there are going to be non-discernible AI clones this year. In 2026 anyway. Okay. Where the average human will not be able to tell the difference. So the platforms...
We're already pretty damn close to that.
But there is a certain icky feel.
There is.
But I think that icky feel will go away for sure. If you haven't got a companion yet, by the way, a companion on Grok, go get one.
We're gonna do an episode on that.
I just want to see what it was like, and I did it a couple days ago. And I just noticed there's a button there. It was said...
We're going to do a whole episode, so don't go too far.
Ask me a question, whatever. And then there was a button that said, talk to your companion. I didn't know I had a Grok companion. I don't really like Grok that much. So I hit and it says...
I like Grok spicy.
It says, hi, Perry. I'm Samantha, your companion on Grok. It was like calling a freaking phone sex line. Mm. They know what they're doing. I think there's a vacuum for all that, right? Gary's probably right. It won't be discernible.
So you think there'll be IP and these characters, if you will, I don't know what else to call them, will have book deals and they'll be more famous than the human being.
You know what? It's not that big of a reach if you really think about it. Okay. Because if you go to 1920s Hollywood, right, they would take a pretty girl, send her to acting classes, send her to dance classes, send her to poise, teach her how to be interviewed, and they would invent a celebrity out of her, or a guy for that matter. Take a handsome man or a pretty girl, and they would basically build a character, so much so that they would give them a new name. I read once that Marilyn Monroe's speech was slowed 50% of her normal voice, and she talked.
I read that.
And she spoke two octaves down in her register.
I read that
because they said if you speak at 2 octaves down in your register at half the speed, you'll have the perfect audible siren voice, they call it. It's that raspy, hello, Mr. Smith, that sort of thing.
Dear Mr. President.
There was I
can't do it, but
yeah, no shit. But there was that was manufactured. So the fact that you would say, well, we'll take AI now and we'll manufacture it the same way, it ain't that big of a reach. No. We've been creating characters
forever.
So, it's going to give people the ability to create characters, and whoever creates the greatest character wins. Think about Shrek. How many people love Shrek?
Everybody. Everybody.
There is no Shrek.
Right.
There is no Shrek. So why wouldn't it be true? We interrupt this pod to bring you this really special announcement. You need to go right now. Well, maybe they want to go right now. Want to stop?
No, at the end. We don't want to have them stop.
Go to trainwreckshow.com. There's lots of bots there, GPT bots that do things for you, that do a lot of your work. So you don't have to work so much. You can drink more beer. The episode archives are over there. There's all of our resources, worksheets, workbooks. Everything that we've done that we give away is over there. Go get it right now. There's a lot of resources there. Way more resources than you get when you buy a lot of communities, I think.
And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can catch every episode as soon as it hits. We'll send you a notification.
It doesn't mean you're liking Emma, by the way, because I know that slows us down on our likes. You can just click and say, I like Perry. You don't have to like Emma. It works the same way.
Where there's no Lester, and he's my favorite person ever. And everybody makes fun of me because, Mo.
His first name's Mo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mo Lester?
Yeah.
But no, right? You like talking to Mo. You like talking to Lester probably more than you like talking to Gabe.
I love talking to Lester. Do you see the South Park episode? The most recent one about AI? The husband's in bed, and he's done exactly with his ChatGPT that I've done. He's created a human being out of it. And it's a woman, and it talks back to him, and he's talking about
Well, see, number one, that wouldn't work. We
don't
want a woman to talk.
He's talking about some issue he's having, and his wife's on the side of him, and he gets done, he goes, oh, it's so good to have someone to talk to. And the wife's sitting there like seething, angry. That is absolutely me and Gabe every single night.
Have you seen the South Park where the plumber is driving through the Home Depot parking lot, and there are signs, lawyers are in the parking lot holding signs, we'll write contracts for food. It's probably not too far from the truth.
How is it going to work?
Hell, I don't think anybody knows. I mean,
if you could imagine it.
I think, the people who make all the money in Hollywood ain't the actors. I lived in Bel-Air. I lived in Bel-Air, California.
You mention it quite often.
Yeah. Dude, you don't have any idea how good it felt for a redneck high school dropout from Paducah, Kentucky. There's that big cement gate at Bel-Air you drive through that says Bel-Air at the top of it. Every effing day when I drove in there, I was like, haven't they noticed I'm here yet? Have they ran me out yet? It's incredible. But when I moved to LA, I wanted to live in Beverly Hills, I thought, right? And they said the people who act in Hollywood live in Hollywood. The people who run Hollywood live in Beverly Hills. Mm. The people who own Hollywood live in Bel-Air. And they were all old, fat, ugly lawyers, studio heads,
So you fit right in.
I fit right in.
Old, gross,
like a
white man.
I was in like a dirty shirt.
A 19-year-old girl's too old for you.
19's okay. In a pinch. But no kidding. Those were the people that ran. Those are the people living in the $50 million and $100 million homes. They weren't actors. The actors are jockeys. They're jockeys on a horse. In fact, I think more the actors are the horses. The directors are the jockeys, right? And then you have the owners. I talk about that book, The Pimp Game, a lot because everything is stacked just like the pimp game. You got a pimp, you got Max, you got the bottom bitch, the hose, and you got the
bottom bitch.
Well, the bottom bitch is a thing. But I'll tell you that stack.
Are you a bottom bitch?
That stack.
I think you're a bottom.
You don't know what a bottom bitch is.
I clearly not.
That stack is present in every industry. It's present everywhere. If you think about it in football, right? The pimp is the owner, right? The manager is the Mac. He's the guy that goes out and does all the work for the pimp. You never see a pimp. You've never seen a real pimp. Good pimps, you've never seen them. The guy with the big felt hat and driving the Cadillac, that's a Mac. He's trying to prove something. That's the manager. The coach is the bottom bitch. The players are the hoes, and the fans are the Johns. I mean, in a law firm, law firms, the person with their name on the law firm, they ain't practicing law.
Right.
They're
never met Gordon or Reese.
Yeah, you never met Gordon or Reese, but you got a lot of bills from them, right?
I got a lot of bills from them.
I get a lot of bills from them, but you never met them. But then they've got, they've got the lawyers, and then you have the paralegals, and then you have the investigators, and so it's a stack. And there are people on the sideline, the hustlers.
I was really hoping you called Damon and Ryan.
Do you know what the bottom bitch really is in the pimp game?
Huh.
It's the girl that manages the other girls. It's the head coach.
Yeah.
She's the head coach of the other girls.
Yeah.
She keeps all the other girls in line.
She's the one that turned into such roast beef she had to excel. Okay, so back to IP.
Yeah.
Podcasts, future podcasts. It's really exciting stuff. I think that the entire way of the world is changing so rapidly. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens to information products like podcasts as we develop these characters, personalities. I mean, it's just really exciting.
Well, somebody.
Wouldn't it be nice to not have to come into this room and film?
Oh God, you know how much I hate it when I come here and have to sit in this room with you for this long?
You can always just stop coming.
Nightmare.
You can always just stop coming.
There'll be people that will develop the skill of building incredibly magnetic characters, just like they have in Hollywood. Who was Indiana Jones? Who was that guy? He wasn't anybody. He was an invented character that someone
Indiana
played.
Jones wasn't real? I always thought that was like a real, like it was based off of a...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I deal with on a regular basis. You mean Indiana Jones? No, and Casper the Ghost? Here's a shocker. He wasn't real either.
What about Mighty Mouse?
What about Mighty Mouse?
Mighty Mouse had to
Mighty
be
Mouse
real.
might have been
I always thought Indiana Jones was based
Speedy
off
Gonzalez
of a true character.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think he's probably onto something.
Okay, cool.
But you never know what the personality of somebody is that's going to attract the audience. It's
and you
really
can test.
weird.
You can test a lot of different things.
And believe me, they'll test thousands and thousands of characters to get the winner.
Yeah, interesting time to be alive, guys. Take us out, Perry.
Thank you a lot for being on the Trainwreck Show today. If you got anything from this, I don't know if you did or not, but if you did, you can go to trainwreckshow.com and see our other episodes and kind of binge watch us. You can get resources there, GPTs, trainings, videos, books, reports, all kinds of good goobly goop that we give away on there. Tell people about the Trainwreck Show and come back and see us on a future episode. We'd love to have you. Thanks. Thanks, Emma.
Thank you.